My name is Kristen Hayes, and this is my final post for EDM310. Before the class started, I received emails from Dr. Strange, and I printed off my syllabus. After reading the syllabus, I was scared. It had a huge number 9 on it and said 9 hours a week. I thought to myself, 9 hours a week? Is he crazy? I have 5 other classes and work, and he expects me to put in at least 9 hours a week for this one class? When I went to the first day of class, I became more scared than before. He showed us a checklist with everything we had to do on it. The list went on, and I thought I would never finish this class. I'm so glad I stuck with it because I've learned more from this one class than any class I've ever taken. EDM310 broadened my views on technology and teaching as well as culture. A few things I absolutely loved about EDM310 was comments for kids and comments for teachers. Comments for kids I found to be so rewarding. Almost every time I left a comment to a kid, I would receive a comment back thanking me for taking the time to leave a thoughtful comment from both the teacher and the student. I thought it was so cool that I was able to connect with kids who lived in places other than the United States, such as Australia. I also liked comments for classmates. Because this class was mainly online, I thought I would never get to know my fellow classmates. I realized pretty quickly I was wrong. I loved receiving feedback from my classmates as well as giving them feedback. As far as blogging goes, I had never blogged before this class. I thought I would absolutely hate it. I've hated writing my whole life. After the first couple of blog posts, I began to really enjoy it. I'm a very opinionated person, and blogging allows me to say what I want and how I feel about certain issues anytime I want. Dr. Strange told us the first day that this class would be so much easier if we used a Mac for our projects. I had a PC and found that using my brother's Mac was so much easier. I'm going to buy a Mac because of this class. You win, Dr. Strange. I learned about so many different tools in EDM310. One of our activities was to download all kinds of things to our computer. I was so frustrated when doing this activity, but I'm so glad that I did. One tool we had to download was Picasa. I love this. Picasa is basically a folder with all of my pictures in it. It keeps my pictures organized, and I use it almost every day. We opened an account at many different sites online. One site is called TimeToast. This is a website that you can create a timeline. I thought it was so cool and would be great to use outside of class. Another website I created an account for was Symbaloo. This is where I created my personal learning network. I really like this because I have all of my favorite websites on it. I use it every single day because it's so much easier seeing a screen with everything on it all at once. Glogster is a website that my group and I used for Project 16. We put together all of our videos on Glogster, and it created a great project piece. We had so many projects for this class, and they all consisted of different things. Our first project was called Wordle. I was getting so frustrated when I was trying to figure out what this was exactly. After figuring it out, I love Wordle. Basically, you can write whatever you want and copy and paste your writing in this program, and it creates artwork. It bunches all of your words any way you want with whatever colors. It's so cool. Another project was a presentation. We had to use Google Presentation, which is basically the same thing as PowerPoint, only easier. I did my Google presentation on my senior class trip to the Cayman Islands. Another project was Google Docs. I found that using Google Docs saved my life as far as this class goes. Dr. Strange would send everything we needed through Google Docs, and because it was so organized, it made my life that much easier. The next project was doing a podcast. This project I thought was just okay. My group and I got together and created a podcast about the iPad, but we never followed up on it. Another project we had to do was a TimeToast. I talked about this earlier, and this project was really fun. We used TimeToast to create a timeline of ourselves. This project had 2 parts to it, and the second part was a timeline of anything we wanted. I did this one on food because it was one of my favorite things in life. Symbaloo was used for my next project. This project was creating a personal learning network. I created my PLN with Symbaloo, and like I said before, I use this every single day, and I love using it because, like many things in this class, it makes my life easier. The next project was to create a short movie. I used iMovie to record myself reading a short story. I read a pop-up version of Mother Goose. This was my first experience with iMovie, and I now use it all the time. One thing we had to download was Skype. I already had Skype downloaded, but for the next project, we did an interview. I interviewed Frank Cope, who plays soccer for the University of West Florida. I asked him different questions about his team and their season. Another project was the smartboard project. My high school got smartboards the year I left, and I was so disappointed I wasn't able to use them. This project allowed me to play around on the smartboard and learn a little about it. I had a lot of fun, and I believe every school should be required to have them. The next project was called a Teach Someone project. This required us to somehow teach someone anything. I used Scribd to create a PDF and teach someone how to make the perfect pound cake. Our next project was Project 15. We had different choices, and I chose Dylan's style. I used iMovie to create a movie about deep sea fishing. I had different pictures with facts about deep sea fishing, and my background music was Sweet Home Alabama. Our final project was a group project that we used Glogster for. My group and I talked about using technology to interact with different cultures. We talked about using Skype, blogging, as well as wikis. I think we did a great job of putting our thoughts together to create an awesome Glogster. EDM310 taught me so many different things about everything. I learned about different cultures, technologies, and I became a better writer from the many blog posts we did. When I thought I didn't have 9 hours a week to put in, I learned I had more. I wouldn't have gotten my mini projects, blog posts, and other required assignments in one time if I put any less than 9 hours a week. Thank you, Dr. Strange, Jamie Lynn, and Anthony, for all of your help, and I loved learning with you.